Okay, now we're going to work on how to get dressed following a total hip replacement. So it's very important at all times not to break total hip precautions, which means I can't have more than 90 degrees of flexion at the hip, which means I cannot lean forward in any way or bring my leg closer to me. It doesn't matter about the knee, so I'm able to move my knee, but I can't get more than 90 degrees at the hip. We also don't want to rotate at the hip. So it's important that when you're trying to get the shoes on, you're not wiggling your leg and getting rotation at the hip. And you can never cross your legs right after a hip replacement. So I'm going to be sitting with my operative leg out in front of me. So the first thing I want to do is put my sock on. So we have several different kinds of sock aids. Actually, let me grab some more things here. Sorry, should have been all prepared. We've got different styles. This is a very inexpensive one, but doesn't generally work that well. Most people prefer either this type or this type. This one is rigid. It's got a wider opening. It's good for some people because it holds the sock open wider, but it's also not good for some people because their foot is too big and they can't get it on. So I like this one because it's a little softer. And you take the sock with the heel facing down, open it up, and pull it on over the sock aid, making a tube. You want to pull it all the way up. Okay, so it's all the way to the toe. Get it up like that. So you can see that's a narrower opening, doesn't work for some people. Then I'm going to take the straps, I'm going to throw it down, and I'm going to put my foot into the tube and pull it up. Another reason why I like this sock aid is because the straps are not connected, and you saw I could easily let go with one hand and pull it up with the other. Now it's time for me to put my pants on. So people use some different tools. Most commonly, people use a reacher. This is an example of a very typical reacher with a trigger here. There are other kinds of reachers. Here's an example of one that's got a different trigger and different end over there. Here's an example of another one. I would not recommend this one, especially since the piece broke off of it. Looks like it's broken, but this is your very typical standard reacher. So people will take the pants and just grab the pants with the reacher, bring them down as far as they can, straighten out the leg, and pull the pants up over the knee. Then, whether or not they need to use the reacher to get the other leg in, they may, or they may not need to. Either way, they're going to get both legs in. Get the pants up to the knees, up over the knees, but you're not going to stand up yet. Now it's time to put the shoes on. So again, the reacher might be handy for getting the shoe in the right position. But the best tool that's going to come in handy at this point is the long-handled shoehorn. So, as I said, you want to make sure that someone is not wiggling their foot to get it in the shoe. So sometimes I'll use the reacher to put it on over the toes. Then put the shoehorn in to the back of the shoe and slide the heel in. Okay. We'll do the same thing with the other shoe, and then when all finished, because I can't move that leg too much, I'm going to, using my hip precautions, I'm going to stand up and pull the pants up, and I'm done.